Look at the way he just moved. Or sort of like gliding all over the place. What was that? Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Kimetsu no Yaiba season 3 episode 9. What am I thinking about it? Miss Hashira Muichiro Tokito. Oh, last episode, man, it was just so beautiful and so sad. Like, I loved it. I loved seeing his backstory, and just like everything, the way that backstory played out, the fact that the way the parents died, man, and then the way turned out he had a twin, and then the twin basically died to save him, and he unlocked his breathing, and defeated that demon that attacked, and then the Muichiro was like the M in Muichiro stands for eternity, because when he has to protect someone, he displays infinite strength and stuff. It was just so beautiful. And then the way they animated everything, I love that episode, man. And I was just crying. It was so good. But yeah, so that's what my last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. And please consider support on Patreon at patreon.com/feelimini. And now let's start this episode. And here we go. Sepachira! Ay. Him and his not getting Tanjiro's names like multiple times before he gets it once, and then it's like, let's start over. Okay. Man, I started last episode, but like, he's my favorite Hashira, okay? Like, Muichiro is my favorite Hashira. That's just, I guess, nah. I would say, you know how in Hunter x Hunter, I had to tap in because my mind was just not working properly. For some reason, I couldn't really remember Killua's name. Yeah, so like in Hunter x Hunter, Killua is my favorite character, And when I was watching Bleach for the first time around, Hisugaya was my favorite character. And then here, I'm like, Miss Muichiro is my favorite Hashira. And then I'm like, do I just like younger characters that are super, super, super strong? Is that what it is? Or what? But yeah, he's just, first of all, he's young and he's strong and he's just, personality is what I absolutely love. Like, he's just so deadpan when he says stuff, and he's sometimes, especially in this particular, previously, he's saying stuff because he's not trying to hurt anybody. He's just saying what he thinks. He's just like stating the facts, even if that facts hurts you, he's just stating it. But in this particular episode, when he was facing Gyoko, I felt like he was trying to get under his skin. It wasn't just him stating the facts. It was like trying to get under his skin, to get him to lose his cool and all of that. So I don't know. I just love it. He felt mischievous in this particular episode, which I love it so much, man. Gyoko was just like, I'm amazing. Look at me. Look at all my, my real form, and how his skills does this for him. He can do this. He can do this. He's magnificent. I'm like, whatever, man. And then Muichiro was just like, I think there's something really weird about your face. It's not really symmetrical, and that's why the guy lost it. He lost it, and then he launched this attack at him with all the millions of fishes and stuff, and my boy did his thing, and he like cut all those fishes. But then he's like, these fishes will release this poison that goes through your skin and everything. And then he did another form that basically sort of like dispersed the poison. And he went on the attack and tried to cut off his head, but then he shed his skin. And then he was up in the trees. He was like, this is my real form. And something or other like that, that only 3 people have seen his form. So, which it is so, a lot of people, huh? Oh, yeah, it's so funny. And then he's like, he killed all of them. Like, anyone that's seen his form hasn't survived or something or other like that. Clearly, because he's still here. And he was trying to display how fast he was, how his movements were unpredictable and stuff. And my boy just like, 7th form. Oh, how does he say he's breathing? He's breathing. Oh, yeah. I love the way he says it. Yeah, he did Kasumi no Kokyu. Shinokata. Oboro. Obscure mist. It was so cool. Oh, stop it. And then he was just like, there was all this mist forming around Gyoko, and then you see him popping in here, popping up here, popping up here, popping up here. And by the time it slashed his head off, this guy didn't even know what happened, man. It was so cool. Then he was on the floor, he's like, huh? Did this really happen? Then he started spewing this nonsense about, him, his life meaning more than 100 of humans and whatever. And he just had enough of it. He just slashed him to tiny pieces. There's no way he can regenerate. And then, poof, he's dead. And then they go back to where it was before he killed Kyoko, but it was during the battle. And they go back to where, where after he crawled all the way to his brother, and they were there for a while. And then there was, I noticed the maggots on his arm before he mentioned the maggots eating his brother. And then lady, what's her name? Amane showed up with another girl, and Yuichiro was already dead, but Muichiro was still alive, so they basically nursed him back to health. And the rage that he felt during what happened, he was like, he's never forgotten that rage. Even if he's forgotten his memories, like that rage, that fury always stayed with him. And he used that to train and become this Hashira and, the person that he is now. Then he killed the dude. And what's his name? The person that made his sword came and he's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm okay. But as he was talking, as he kept on talking, you can tell that he's not okay. And I'm like, oh, dude, because he was turning sort of like purple around, especially around the face. And then he started foaming at the mouth. So I'm assuming that the poison still got to him. At least some poison still got to him, But he didn't really feel that the poison's effect until after the battle was over and the adrenaline is like gone and everything. And then that's when he started feeling the sickness. And then Kotetsu showed up and they thought Kotetsu died, but he didn't. He showed them the one on the arm and whatever. But then the one that stuck his stomach was blocked by the hilt that Tanjiro gave him, that hilt that belonged to Rangi. Cool. Rengoku. I knew it started with a Ren, but with an R. The flame Hashira. That was his. And I love that he had that flashback with him, Muichiro and Rengoku, where Rengoku was like, let's do our best or something or other like that. That was cool. And then he had this vision about with his family. Then he started crying. I felt like crying right there, man. And also when that was happening, I was worried a little bit for a second because, some of the demons that they've killed, especially was it in the first season? Like that first one that had this not made up family, but sort of, you know, that had also had this backstory. And then when he died, usually when they would kill these demons, they will show them sort of like making peace with their human family members or something or other like that. And they seeing Muichiro here basically sort of like having that happen to him at this particular moment. You know, him seeing his parents and then his brother basically telling him that he was okay, he did good and all of that. A little part of me was sort of like worried. I'm like, hey, please don't tell me he's dying and then he's reuniting with his family or whatever. But then I feel like there's no way they just killing him off, especially after Kotetsu was like just put him on the side or something or other like that. I don't think he's dying. If he dies, I'm gonna be super upset. But yeah, so then we go back to Tanjiro and was Gen what's the Genro, but that's not Genro. Genya. Genya and Nezuko facing that demon with his dragons and stuff. And then you have Sanjuro was like, okay, these dragons can only extend up to 66 something. And then but it has all the powers that the previous demons, those emotions demons, all the powers are sort of like combined with this particular one. And then all the tambourine thing is that he kept beating up is basically sort of like launching a particular emotions attack and stuff. But then the attacks were, their strength was like multiplied and stuff. So he launched the sonic attack on Tanjiro and his eardrums like burst. And then I think one got one of his foot or something. Then he's like, okay, as long as I'm like 66 whatever away from the dragons. I'm like, are you sure? And then that's when another dragons pop out of the one mouth and then like kept popping out until it reached him. Then it dragged him, then swallowed him, and it was like crushing him. I'm like, what's her name? I feel like I kept the love Hashira Kanroji. I was like, where's Kanroji? The reason why I asked about her was because you know how when they are sort of like midway, they show you snapshots of things. And they showed a snapshot of her. So I'm like, okay, so she must be showing up in this episode. So I'm like, where is she? And then she showed up. She just sliced the dragon like in small pieces and then saved Tanjiro. I love how after Tanjiro was swallowed and everything, Nezuko was in like despair, like she was worried. And then that's when Kanroji showed up, and she has a fascination when it comes to Kanroji and the fact that she's the one that saved her brother. I feel like that's gonna even create even more of a love for her. So yeah, that was cool. So yeah, she just like dropped off Tanjiro over there and she's like, okay, I'm gonna take care of this demon. And Tanjiro was just telling her, he's an upper demon. So is she gonna be able to take care of this one by herself? We'll see. She clearly is strong because she's a Hashira. I just don't know if she's strong enough to defeat Hantegu. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to episode 10, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/filmy, and you can also see the full length for this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bam, bam, ba-dam, bam, ba-bam, bam. Yeah, I missed the news when I was getting. Vas a llorar, que todo se frío suplicará. y vas a estar arrepentido.